Hello you lovely people and welcome. Today I'll be taking a look at the Freeware T-38 Talon that was previously a Milviz product but has had permission to be released as freeware for PC users and is available on flightsim.to. So as you can see, it's in my inventory here. So we go to liveries, and as you can see we have quite the selection. Where we have an obvious aggressor variant, we have NASA, NATO, standard USAF, Beale Air Force Base, Thunder Turkeys obviously because they used it, and then we've got other places. We have, well, not we, T-38s are based all over the US, mainly at Vance, Columbus, Laughlin, Shepherd and Randolph Air Force bases. I couldn't tell you what any of these tail codes really are. I'm guessing that's Columbus and that's Randolph. Wilmington, I couldn't really tell you, but there is a very good selection of different liveries, and you have the Navy Bicentennial variant there, and yeah, I think it's very nice of Milviz, now Blackbird Simulations, to give kind permission to convert to be able to bring it to Flight Sim, as we are lacking a T-38 at the moment. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose Beale Air Force Base livery, obviously because I have the Milviz or Blackbird Simulations Beale Air Force Base scenery, and two and two go together. Two go together. I can't do maths. I can't talk this morning, so I apologise. Let's just get on with it. Let's jump in the cockpit. So I'll have a quick look around the cockpit before we get up in the air. As you can see, it's pretty sweet looking cockpit, as I remembered from back in the day. I've got to reiterate that nothing's clickable. Some of the gauges work, but again, you got to remember this is a freeware port over of a commercial release, so we can't really moan too much as we now have a T-38 in sim for the moment. I mean, don't get me wrong, everything still moves. We just can't click anything, and everything is done through key binding. So starting the engines is left shift and enter, and that will start the sequence going. And then obviously we've got external lighting, which is the comma, colon and semicolon, P button to get everything up and running. The navigation lights actually open the canopy, so if I just trigger that now, there we go. The only issue being is if we just were to jump outside now, it would do the animation again, so you wouldn't see it actually open to start with, like this. As you can see, the animation has started again. While we're out here, we might as well have a look at the external model. It was always a great model back in FSX, still is now, really looks the part, and I chose the Beale Air Force Base livery simply because I'm flying from Beale Air Force Base and it would make sense. So as you can see, all animations look good. We can drop the air brakes and raise them. So let's jump back in, get started, taxi out and have a little flight, see what it's like. Okay, so left shift and enter. You'll see the RPM needle climbing on the left engine there. And we might as well jump outside while that starts. around, just have a listen to the sounds. Lights on. Talon, get the nav lights on. Keep on the landing light. Same Talon for beacon lights, which they are flashing, you just can't see them from that angle. And then I'm going to press the comma because quite simply it'll open the canopy and I don't want that. So the engines are settled, everything looks good. It's just a shame that we can't click anything in that cockpit because it looks good enough to click. There's this taxi out. Park and brake off. Okay. The ground handling is a little bit ropey. Feels like it's on a railway track and not freewheeling like you'd expect, but again it's freeware, so I'm not going to complain. Flaps down. So like I said before in the sort of readout from the page on the website, this thing, its fuel consumption and performance are not entirely accurate compared to the real T-38, so you just got to take out a pinch of salt. You either want a T-38 in sim or you don't. So it's going to, apparently by the looks of things, it's going to be worked on as and when it can be, and the developer who's converted it has asked anyone who can do any gauge work or possible livery updates to get in touch with them so that they can progress with this. Let's brake here. Yeah, ground handling is iffy. Okay, let's jump outside. Let's have a look at some afterburner. Yeah, it's gone. The brakes hold quite well. So let's jump back in and take off and see how it handles. Swap that up. Brakes off. Afterburner on. Yeah, very light with the steering. Jesus. Rotate now. Gear up. Flaps up. Out of afterburner. Keep it around about 300 knots. Trims out quite nicely as well. Let's do a pass over pave pause and keep it low level, see how it handles. And it's alright at low level actually. Solid. I know that the T-38C had engine changes to help it perform better at low altitude, so I don't know which T-38 variant this model is supposed to represent. I think it's just a sort of middle of the road, sort of in-betweeny. So let's go reheat. Can't go on a stray too far from Bill because that's where I'm going to land again. Do some climbing so we can get to altitude, see how it handles up here. So we can get it to do Mach 1.3, which the most up-to-date variant of the T-38C can allegedly do. The A could, I read that the A could reach Mach 1.6. I'm not sure how true that is. I'm not clued up on the T-38, to be honest, as much as I could be. Yeah, 14,000 feet. Very, very responsive. The authority is very good, both in pitch, roll. Let's see what yours like. Yep, yours is responsive. Very good. Not sure what the ceiling on this thing is. I should have looked up before doing the video, really. But it sounds good. It looks good. By golly, it is good. To the moon. This thing flies awesome. Well, let's get to 20,000. Happy there. Pull the throttle right back. We're going to stall it. Let's see if we can get it to get the flaps down. Get nose up. Trim it up. Get it to stall out. Okay, we're reading no speed on the indicated airspeed gauge, and it doesn't want to drop by the looks of things. Okay, it's odd. No worries. Not going to cry about that. And let's make our way back to Beale. We shall land and then do a quick summary. Like it has a do not exceed of 700 knots, so we won't exceed that. And back. Notice the fuel quantity gauge isn't working, so it might be something you want to keep an eye on. We're doing about 630 knots. Let's throttle back and make our way into land. Let's go for a teardrop. Deploy air brakes. Below 200 knots, safe to deploy gear, brakes, and we'll track the air brakes, turn into I love those approach lights on this scenery. Look awesome. Interesting scenery around the airfield as well. Shame the angle of attack indicator isn't working. Could have done with that really. That's not a good thing. Oh well, I'm down. Can't complain at that. Okay, I'm slightly off the runway, but we'll pretend that, well, I'm on the runway surface, I suppose. We'll just pretend that it was a successful landing. Nose down. Turn off the taxiway here. Brakes are... The anchors are very heavy on this. Okay. Another thing to note is that you can add a ferry pod to the bottom if you so wish in the fuel and weight page. You can also add air show smoke, which is activated by the logo lights, but you have to go into the weight and balance to add the smoke, which is just like 1 pound of weight. I'll show you that in a second. Just taxi back. Okay, so let's just jump outside quickly and we'll take a look at the weight balance. Okay, so the cargo pod, if you add 150, there we go, we've got a cargo pod. If you want smoke enabled, it's just a matter of putting in a 1. And you can set that off with logo lights. I'm not sure if I've got set as anything, to be honest. I have. There we go. Right, so there we have it. Take off the cargo pod as well. Right then, let's jump into the summary. So the review, there you go, T-38 for flight sim for the time being, until a better variant will come our way. Now there are a couple that are in production or are going to be produced for flight sim, so that's something to look out for, both the Alpha and Charlie variants. A nice array of liveries, a decent performance, a shame about the unclickable cockpit, but that's something that we have to deal with for some of these commercially produced crossovers that the permission's been given. The same with the Sabre that I did not long ago. But to be honest, I think it's worth it. This is great for just getting in, flying around and having a, well, you could set your hair on fire and just fly low level, or, you know, have some fun with friends, or even do if you've got enough friends that fly on air, you could do Thunderbirds. You've got all the jets there, even a bicentennial variant there. Look. So yeah, great stuff, and for freeware you can't complain unless you have an Xbox, which unfortunately you guys miss out yet again. But yeah, I thoroughly recommend it. Go get it, have some fun. Don't take it too seriously, and you'll enjoy it. So, if you've got this far, thank you for watching, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.